So when you begin being by yourself and begin improving and shit like that, you get used to it, and it becomes like a just like another thing or another phase of life that you can go into whenever. For example, you get into a mental state of meditation sometimes. That's a place that you go to. But also, solitude in this real world is a place that you go to, and you get tangible benefits out of it. So, what would you say is the first tangible benefit that you got out of being by yourself?
uh, Knowledge of self, or I guess confidence, really.
Confidence?
Yeah, so confidence, I had learned a very important lesson is that, like, at least for me, confidence is really a skill. It's something that you have to build.
Mm-hmm.
And true confidence comes from like being a man of your word. So if you say you're gonna do this and you do that and then you do it, you become proud of yourself. And then as time goes on, you kind of make those things that you say you're gonna do a little bit more difficult. So when you approach this next situation, you like, okay, I done did this in the past, so
Yeah.
this thing that I'm about to face now is nothing because I have knowledge of self. I done spent all this time with myself.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, confidence for sure.
That's powerful, bro.
Yeah,
It's an important thing for you to be able to walk around and have confidence in your decisions and actions. And that's definitely something that I um got directly as a benefit from being by myself as well. Like you just the word proud. Some people hate that word, not hate that word, but dislike it. They don't like you to use it. They don't like you to be near it. It's like the same vicinity as ego. It's just bad for you. And, being proud of yourself is a very important thing, actually. You should be proud of yourself at all times. And if you are not, then you have work to do. And a lot of people have been placed in this mindset to say that being proud is a bad thing. Having confidence that can be considered conceited is a bad thing. But it's just you, honestly. If
yeah,
you get to that point, that's just who you are. Like I would say that I have high confidence, but I'm not conceited. I wouldn't consider myself conceited. And another person may go through that same journey and maybe they will become conceited, or maybe they'll become even more mild than me within it. Like you figure out what your existence within it is. And the first thing that you said was knowledge of self. And that is probably the biggest one that I want people to take from solitude, is just the fact that you have this entire world out here and it's giving you information, and you never have given information to yourself. And you need to do that, because oftentimes the information you give to yourself is actionable for your specific life, and it has your specific perspective and what you've perceived within it. So it's like, if I can go to somebody and get a general workout plan versus going to myself or somebody else and getting the most accurate, pinpoint, expert level workout plan that's fit for my life, that's the difference. And some people are walking around with thoughts of everybody else, how this person thinks about it, how that person thinks about it, and you never thought about how you think about it. How do you think about your workouts? You go and work out with the team. That's great. You have people around you. Everybody's riled up. This guy's about to do a big lift. Everybody's like huddled around him. Cool. But when you're by yourself, what does that look like for you? Are you going to get into that beast mentality and push more weight than you're supposed to? Or are you going to, let's call it what it is, slack off compared to your standards?
yeah,
And if you don't have that side of you, at least you haven't experienced that side of you, is very problematic as a growing human being, because you have no clue who you are. And that's very dangerous, to not have a clue who you are.
yeah.
We can get into that.
That's how you get controlled by the
Bro,
outside world, and that's what society wants to do, is control
you
you.
get what I'm saying? And it's very unfortunate that most of the world is in that type of mentality. to where they are easily controlled because they lack knowledge of self. They lack the ability to make your own decisions. And that's one of the gifts that God blessed me with at an early age, is being able to make my own decisions. While everybody else is interested in this thing, I become interested in this thing and figure out how to go through it, and I go through it without anybody else being there with me, doing it alongside me, instructing me, whatever the fuck. So if you develop that skill, you'll notice that you have more confidence because of it, and you're able to walk around, trust yourself more, and make decisions that are good for you, and love yourself.
Yeah. And like something else too, like when it comes to like just spending time in solitude, is that knowledge of self is you learn your triggers. I feel like this is one of the most important things, is learning what triggers you. And you really don't know what triggers you where you're constantly in that noise.
Yeah.
So like when you take a step back, and then from like society, from life, whatever the case may be, and then you really start learning your triggers, that's how you don't become triggered by that trigger. Yeah. Try saying that 2 times fast. But like literally though, because that's the thing, it's like humans, we love to, when we think about our quote unquote problems, a lot of times we don't really get to the root of things. We only get to like the surface level of the problem.
We focus on the effect rather than the cause.
Exactly. But the way to get to the cause is by spending time in solitude, getting to that root and really digging deep. So like learning what triggers you, what makes you mad, or what makes you sad, what makes you unmotivated, or is there a time of the day where your energy levels dip?
Yeah.
That's all knowledge of self, and that's how you learn from being by yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, learning your triggers, man.
Bro, it's the difference. So take one situation: you're walking through a mall with somebody, and you tell them, you're like, look at his shoes. Why does he have those shoes on? And you're talking to that person about it, and they're like, I don't know, I don't like them either. In that situation, you don't have the time to stop and think, why did I say that about that person? But when you're by yourself and you notice that you do it consecutively, you say, wait, I keep saying this. I keep having this situation where I'm looking at somebody's shoes and I'm saying something about it. Does it really have something to do with me? No, it doesn't. And that is the different dynamic that you will have when you can acknowledge your triggers, and when you're being by yourself. You begin to learn, okay, I am more prone of X, Y, and Z right now because I know for myself what may be going through my head or what feelings may be going through my body. So you can say, it adds to your emotional intelligence and situational awareness when you know your triggers and you know what can possibly come in the future if given something else. Yeah. Meaning, if you know for a fact that if you go there with this person, this other person will be there and they'll trigger you. You can know beforehand that you probably shouldn't go to that place. You should say, hey, I'm going to take a rain check. I'm going to skip out on this one, because you know for a fact that that situation isn't favorable for you. It's not favorable for you to be around energy that you conflict with. Conflict is not necessarily, it prompts growth in some aspects, but not in that situation. So learning your triggers is definitely a great one. I would say it, being by yourself, can get scary sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like, honestly, I was by myself across the world, fucked up, about to die, bruh. That is a comparable situation to, you may be by yourself and you may be going through personal development and you don't have anybody there to tell you not to quit. And so persevering becomes more of a emphasis in your life. You have to build up all these other skills to be able to do that. But when you're first going on your journey of solitude, you can very quickly, and this is what a lot of people do, they very quickly say, I'm tired of this. It's too much for me. I'm going to stop it. And you stop.
Yeah.
You stop going on the journey. So it can get scary. It's like, even you said at the beginning, you were uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
So to somebody else, that uncomfortable part is so unbearable that they can't even be by themselves.
Yeah.
And it prevents them. And you have to really see the benefit. One thing that I really know about people is that you're not going to get it until you get it. So there's going to be something in your life that, for example, you were forced into that position.